Songwriting, it's this constant conversation, from songwriter to songwriter, really dating back to the birth of music. In that sense, pop music is easy, just turn on the radio. But something like this? Takes another level of genius.
Neyla Pekarek is a singer, songwriter, and cellist. A 2-time Grammy nominee, she began her career as a member of the Lumineers, a Denver, Colorado trio that kickstarted the indie folk movement. On the heels of a new solo career, Pekarek landed the most lucrative contract in the music industry, a Ringtone deal. In late 2022, she stole away to a cabin in the woods. 6 months later, Pekarek emerged with what many are calling the greatest ringtone of 2023.
We're rolling.
Kind of upset right now. Writing a viral ringtone is the highest calling that a cellist could aspire to. The reason I fell in love with cello in the first place was a cello ringtone, written by this composer, Bach.
Of course, we all know who Bach
Yes,
is.
excuse me.
Oh.
It was my dad's ringtone for my mom when she'd call. He actually thought that song was written on a Nokia. And so he got me one for my 10th birthday. It was, kind of like my first instrument, really.
Is that
Crash, Dave Matthews Band. Oh, one of the all-time great cello bands.
There's a violinist in the band, but I don't think there's a...
Violin's just a small cello. So.
Okay.
One day I was playing Crash and decided to press this little button. It's the call button. And Dave picked up. Dave Matthews. He told me, "You've discovered my horrible secret. All of my songs are just phone numbers I know." He started crying, like scream crying, and oh God, it was like, I put the cell phone down after that until Attakus called.
Attakus is Atticus Whitaker, a 10-time Grammy-winning producer. He's worked with everyone from Frank Ocean to Crazy Frog on his way to the top of the ringtone industry.
I tend to think of the ringtone being the analog to music as the Campbell soup can was to fine art.
A lot of people think Attakus is cruel, but really he's just dedicated.
I think of Neyla like the lead character in the film Ants, the 1990s animated DreamWorks film. Very knowledgeable, little headstrong, but definitely like the savior ant, to be sure. And her nature presented a challenge in our sessions.
His card deck of rules for creation is a perfect example. A vibrating phone always rings hollow.
Vibration is the problem in my eyes. Vibration is censorship, pure and simple.
Commit to memory every viral ringtone from the last 30 years. So I did. Attakus doesn't really like when I talk about Crazy Frog. You can't replicate what they did in those sessions.
Okay, this sounds straightforward. Remove all distractions.
Totally straightforward, which is why I disowned my family and divorced my husband, sold all my possessions, and moved into a cabin in the back country.
The low point came when Pekarek wrote and performed a musical about a snake wrangler at a community theater in Ward, Colorado.
No, so I didn't have a lot of contact with anybody. There was just like this Postmates delivery driver that Attakus hired that would come every day to drop the fettuccine Alfredo on my doorstep.
Fettuccine Alfredo, it stimulates the frontal cortex of the brain, which is the creative center, more or less. And, 1 or 2 bites a week. You might have a couple ideas here and there, but fettuccine Alfredo for your whole diet. We're talking capacities of creativity that the human mind has never experienced before.
maybe I rested my eyes for like a month, but the Alfredo got me where I needed to go.
I've been eating fettuccine Alfredo every day for the past 10 years, and I haven't died one time. Not a single time I have not died.
You know what woke me up? My cell phone ringing. It was the cello suite. That was my set ringtone for the delivery driver. You know, it's this cello suite written by this composer.
Yeah, it's Bach, yeah.
Yeah, Bach. That was the ringtone I had set for this delivery driver, and like the memory of like hearing that melody, it just shook something awake inside of me, and it hit me.
What hit you?
Custom ringtones. Custom ringtones. It's the key to everything. I mean, you know, this curated melody, like, just for me. It's what love is. And the rest, as you know, is history.
And now, here's Neyla Pekarek with her hit ringtone, Little Ribbons.